So I was at my neighbor's house the other day, and he just asked me, like, hey, man, my AC seems to be working, but the house is still hot. So this is an issue we've been dealing with for years and years since day one, and I think there's a couple things going on. Number one is just thermally, your attic is getting really hot in the summer. So if you feel like your AC is just not working properly, we're gonna come in from a whole home approach. And so we're looking at the air conditioning system specifically because we're licensed to do that. We can make sure that it's cooling properly or that it's reaching certain voltage levels and temperature differentials. In most cases, it's doing all that it can do. Now we're gonna look at the thermal envelope using heat reduction technology, radiant barrier, insulation, ventilating your attic properly, making sure that the environment that your AC and your ductwork is in is depressurized. Meaning if it's 100 degrees outside and your attic's 140, we're gonna fix that first and make sure that the pressure that your AC is living under is reduced. Secondly, we're gonna look at just airflow and ventilation in the living space, that your ductwork is sized properly, that you have enough return air. And lastly, just humidification or dehumidification. Is there ways that we can ventilate the house properly or the attic properly to help reduce humidity in the house, or should we add equipment? We always look at equipment last as far as it's the most expensive. So can we add equipment to help the house perform? Yes. But are there things that can be done thermally with the envelope of the house, the insulation of the house, that are more cost effective first and affect change in the attic and add equipment second? So you may have a newer AC system or even a newer house. What we're finding and running across every day is newer homes are built more efficient than ever. Newer AC systems are more efficient than ever, and maybe too efficient, if that's a thing. But if your AC is not staying on long enough or cooling really quickly and shutting off, if you mix that with a really well insulated house, now you have cool air quickly and staying off really long, it might start to feel stagnant and muggy. A really efficient home or a really efficient AC is a great thing. Low electric bill, cool air quickly. But if you're noticing that as it stays off longer, it just starts to feel really uncomfortable, you might find yourself starting to lower that temperature on the AC lower and lower and lower and lower until you're in the 60s. And it's not solving the problem. You might have to add some equipment, dehumidification type equipment, or increase or decrease airflow, return air. Even if you get that right with an old AC, and what we're seeing and hearing more and more now is even with a new air conditioner, your AC might be showing 70 degrees, but it still feels really hot in the house, and that's a humidity issue. So for every 7 or 8 percentage points of humidity is 1 or 2 degrees of temperature relief as you feel it in your house. So if we can drop your humidity level 10 percentage points, it's gonna feel like 70 instead of 72. We want to address heat load with radiant barrier and ventilate the attic really well. If you're still dealing with a muggy, hot, swampy house, dehumidification is becoming our 4th or 5th bullet point in that process. And so we installed a dehumidifier in my buddy's house down the street. I've got one in my home now. And we're taking humidity levels from the high 60s down to the low 40s, which is a healthy range there. And so your house or your thermostat shows 70, and it feels like it's 70. These whole home dehumidifiers are a standalone unit that installs in the attic space and is ducted into the living space or back into the air conditioning system. There's several different ways to install them. Depending on the house, like we look through the lens of your house with every project, so there might be 3 or 4 different solutions or ways to address humidity levels, but they're installed in the attic, they're ducted into the house. So you've got to address the attic, you've got to address the heat load, you have to address insulation like we've been doing for years and years. And now we're finding that humidity levels are just higher than ever, and the equipment that we're using is so efficient, it needs a little bit of help. And so we're using whole house dehumidifiers to deal with those issues so we can get your house comfortable.